The purpose of the Greenland trip was to explore a very remote area in the Arctic Circle. Our main method of travelling around the glacier was on skis, and that constant friction on the feet and the skis created bad blisters in my feet. To avoid any other issues with the group in terms of having to deal with someone who couldn't move, the best decision for me was to see if I could get evacuated.
Late evening we got this call from Ron saying that he's in a bit of trouble, that his feet are badly infected and he can't make contact with the people who may be able to help to get out of there. And could we do something for him? Frustration, if you like, and a degree of anxiety crept into it, and I thought, well, what am I to do here? He can't make contact. I'm not getting anywhere with it, so let's try the emergency service. I think the gentleman's name was Will, and Will started to talk to me in quite a calm manner, saying, got me to explain the trip, who organised the trip, when did it happen, what was wrong with my son, who have I tried to contact, did I have coordinates, and he calmly said to me, look, give me your name and telephone number, I'll try and do something and I'll come back to you in 5 or 10 minutes.
This man was very distressed, very distraught over his injured son, who was only 5 days or so into this expedition. He had suffered severe foot injuries, he had decreased mobility, he couldn't wake or he couldn't walk, and temperatures were down to -20. Initially it did kind of throw me as to what we could do for this man and ultimately do for his son who was in Greenland. But having gathered the pertinent information that we needed to process the call as to where he was and what form of communications we had with him and phone numbers, etc. I promised the caller, who was the patient's father, that I would get back to him in some way, shape or form with something. So I placed the call to the Coast Guard Coordination Centre, and on the way home about 20 past 11 or so I got a phone call from the controller from the Coast Guard to say that they had been in contact with their international colleagues and that a rescue plan was being put in effect.
Time passed, it was a short time, and I got a call from the Coast Guards, and he told me he had been in touch with his counterpart in Greenland. He was in touch with the local police, and he said in the morning an arrangement will be made that Ron will be airlifted out of where he is.
I wasn't aware of what had been going on back here, and that Will had been engaged in HSE and was managing things. And then the next morning I made a call again to home, and within I think 15 minutes to half an hour, helicopter came up to the valley.
It was an extraordinary call. It just goes to show that you just don't know what you're going to be faced with next.